everybody, welcome to another week of Pilates plus Physio. We are starting down in sitting. If you're not comfortable sitting like this, then you could stay standing up for the first few exercises. Most people are probably better sitting up on your brick or a nice fat book or even a big pillow rolled up, just to get the hips up a little bit, which allows the knees to drop down a little bit. If you find the knees are right up or your back is really rounded, you need to get your bottom up onto something. So start off sitting, just feel the weight equally on both bottom bones. Think of really lengthening up through the spine. Drop the shoulders. You could put your hands over the knees if that's comfortable. And just start off just taking a few nice deep breaths right down into the tummy. So gentle breath in and just a relaxed breath out. And again, just gently breathing in and breathing out. And again, gentle breath in. Feel the tummy gently come forward as you breathe in. And relaxed out breath. Okay, then put your right hand over onto your left knee. Sit tall, left hand behind you, turn and look over your left shoulder. So just a gentle twist to start off with. So you want your back as straight as you can before you start. And then come back into the center. Left hand onto your right knee, sit tall. Right hand behind you, twist and look over that right shoulder. So just getting that nice twisting action going on through your back. Breath in when you're there. As you breathe out, see if you can go a little bit further. And come back to the center. Right hand to your left knee, left hand behind. Breath in. As you exhale, move into the twist a little more. And back to the center. Left hand to the right knee. Right hand at the back, turn and look over your right shoulder. Breathe in as you exhale. See if you can twist a little bit more. Great, come back into the center. Left hand down onto the floor beside you if you can. Float the right hand right up to the sky and then reach up and over. Keep your right bottom bone fixed firmly on the floor or on your brick, and come down, right hand down to the mat, left hand thumb up, reach right up and then over. So you're thinking of up rather than over to start with. So right arm floating up, reach to the ceiling, up and over. And down. Sit tall, left hand floats up and over, back into the center and come down. Lovely, okay. Come down so that you're lying on your back. Keep your band handy. So you've got your knees bent, feet down flat. Let the shoulders relax. Maybe just sort of snuggling down onto the mat, shoulder blades tucked underneath you. A couple more breaths down into the tummy. You could rest your hands on your upper tummy, so just below the ribs. Just rest your fingertips there a moment. And relaxed out breath. Great. Feet nice and close in towards your bottom. Arms on the mat beside you. Just watch with this one that you're not pressing your hands down into the mat. So we're starting with just the spine curl. So press into your feet, peel your back up away from the floor. So coming up, straight line, knees, hips, ribs. Roll back down again, one bone at a time. So remember, if you're not happy doing this, you could just start with just flattening your back into the mat and releasing. If your back doesn't like this, some people's backs don't like this exercise. Other people's backs love it. So when you're at the top, you should still be able to move your head from side to side. So you're not coming right up so that you're sort of restricting your neck movement. Arms just relaxed on the mat beside you, feet flat down on the ground. Great, so you could stick with that, or you could progress it a little bit, curl your bottom up. Think of the hips staying level, so you could rest your fingers over the front of your hip bones. Straighten one leg, so the thighs stay level with each other, the knees are level, you're just straightening out the bottom, the shin. So the shin is going up towards the ceiling. Imagine a sort of axle going through your knees. The knees are staying level with each other. One leg, then the other one. Both feet down, roll all the way down. So imagine a bamboo or something going across your hip bones. The ends of that are staying parallel to the floor. Straighten out one leg. Fold it down. Keep the hips level. So you've got to get the buttock on the supporting leg, really working hard. Straighten the other leg. Pop it down, roll down. If that feels too strong, just keep going with the nice curl up and release. Going again, curl your bottom up, hips level. Again, watch the elbows aren't digging into the mat like mad. Should still be able to breathe while you're working. And roll down. And just going one more, curl up, straighten one knee. Pop it down, straighten the other knee, pop that down, roll right the way down, gather up the legs, ankles crossed, knees apart slightly, gently, gently rocking your knees towards your chest. Great, okay. The feet back down, grab your band. We'll just do a hamstring stretch. So band underneath one foot, slide the other leg right the way down, toes up towards you, elbows tucked in on the mat. Still got that little bit of a hollow through your lower back, so you're not pulling the legs so far up that you get to the end of where your hip will go and then your back flattens down onto the floor. So keep that little bit of a hollow. If you've got sciatic pain, just go easy with this. Maybe put the stretch on and come straight off it rather than holding up in the stretch. So elbows on the mat beside you, toes up towards you so you're getting a bit more stretch through the calf. So just gently turn your foot out. So if it's your left foot, you're pointing your toes to 11 o'clock. If it's your right foot, you're pointing to 1 o'clock. And then turn the toes in. Come back into the center. Breath in as you exhale. See if you can just ease into that stretch a little further. Lovely. And then bring the band down behind your thigh. So we're going to do a hip circle. So you've got the band just tucked behind your thigh. You're holding onto the band like it's a sort of pair of reins. Knee pointing to the roof. And you're just going to draw a little circle on the ceiling with your knee. So the bottom of your leg stays floppy. Just think of dropping your hip bone right back deep into its socket. Just nice smooth circles. So if you had a torch beam shining out of your kneecap, it's doing a circle up on the ceiling there. And then maybe go round the other way. So it's a nice one for just mobilizing that hip joint. There's obviously no weight really going through the hip, so you often get a bit more movement. Don't worry if you're getting a bit of a clunk at the front, that's all right. That's just the ligament sliding over a little bony lump. So just nice circling that hip. And then go back round the first way again. So think about the back of your pelvis as well. So that is staying anchored onto the ground. So as you take the knee out and round, the opposite side of your bottom isn't lifting away from the mat. And you're just really using the band to sort of guide that movement. Great, okay, release band, slide that leg right down flat. We're going to stretch the other leg first. So bend underneath your foot, leg up towards the roof, elbows tucked in, toes up towards you, knees straight. So you can see a sort of little kneecap through your trousers. That generally means your knees aren't straight. You need to bring the leg down a little bit, make sure you really get it straight. Toes up, elbows tucked in, you can still move the head. And then just gently turn that foot outwards. And turn it in. Foot back into the center. Breath in as you exhale. See if you can just ease into that stretch a little bit further. That's lovely, that's good. So you want to feel a firm, stretchy feeling, but you don't want it to be painful. Otherwise, if it's painful, the muscles are just going to tighten up and grip. Great, okay. Band now behind your thigh, so you want to shorten your hold on the band. Elbows tucked in. We're thinking of taking that knee in a circle up on the ceiling. Back of your pelvis staying anchored onto the mat. So just watch that the whole pelvis doesn't roll as you circle. Think of that hip bone sort of dropping right back into its nice deep socket. And then you're going round the other way. And then back the way you came. Back the first way. You're doing that circle up on the roof with your kneecap. Bottom bit of your leg is staying nice and soft. So the foot is just dangling. That's great. Okay. We're going to do a double leg stretch now with the band. It's quite a strong exercise. If your back is feeling painful, you might not want to do it. So band underneath your feet, band underneath both feet. Elbows tucked in, so elbows on the mat, chin tucking in, back just slightly flattened into the floor, and just press your feet up towards the ceiling and release. So feet going towards the roof is easier on your back. Legs going slightly more diagonally is tougher. So just push up and release. Back flat onto the floor. Okay, those who want to make it more tricky, you could add in, tuck the chin in, curl your head and shoulders up as you press up. And release down. Chin tucked in, press up. And release. So it's a double leg stretch with the band. Sore necks, you might not want to do the head bit. Couple more. Great, okay. Pop the band to one side, keep the knees up, ankles crossed. Maybe just a little circling with your knees, just to release through your back. Circle one way, circle the other way. And then pop the feet back down. And just roll your head right over to the right. So your right ear goes to the mat. Come back. Left ear right over to the mat. Back into the center. Both hands underneath your head. So you could interlink the fingers behind your head. Thumbs sort of down just on the back of your neck. Elbows back and wide. Legs a little way apart. We're going to do an oblique curl up. If you've got a sore neck and you don't want to do lifting your head, you could do arms out to the side, knee rolls from side to side. So breath in. As you breathe out, engage your pelvic floor muscles. Think of coming up and across. Front of the shoulder towards the opposite hip. And release down. Chin tucking in. Up and across. Remember, you're just going nice and slow with control. think about using those crisscross tummy muscles, up and across. And release down, up and across, release down. If you want to make it harder, as you come up and across, stretch out the opposite leg. So just a couple of inches above the floor. And release back down. Up and across, push out through the heel on that opposite leg. So left shoulder up and across, right leg sliding out. Just above the floor if you can. Toes up towards you, chin tucking in. So one elbow staying back where you can hardly see it. Other one staying back on the floor, so the elbow's nice and wide. Up and across. Good for those tummy muscles. Don't forget, get the pelvic floor muscles engaging as you come up and across. Keep pressing out through the feet. Great. Rest your head down, pop the arms down beside you. Just this time, take your nose in little tiny circles, about the size of a golf ball. Going around one way and around the other way. Good. Knees just about hip width apart. Arms out to the sides in a big, like a T shape. Just drop your knees right over to the left. Turn your head to the right. So just a gentle stretch there. Legs to the left, head to the right. Arms out to the sides. So right here, going down towards the floor. Good. Scoop in the tummy, knees back up into the middle. Legs going to the right. Left ear down towards the floor. So you're turning your head to the left, knees going to the right, arms out to the sides. Lovely. And come back up into the middle and turn over so you are lying on your tummy. So if you can, forehead down on the mat, legs right down flat, link your fingers behind your bottom. So fingers linked together. Think about which thumb is on top. So I've got my right thumb on top at the moment. Chin tucked right in. If you can't breathe, you could get your forehead on, you know, a little thin book or sort of a half rolled up towel. So breath in. As you exhale, scoop in the lower tummy, reach your hands towards your feet, open through the front of the shoulders. Your forehead could just come off the floor a fraction. Hold there and come down. So breath in, reach your hands towards your heels, front of the shoulders away from the mat. So you could just stick with that. Or you could just get that slight lifting and lengthening. Keep the top of your head pointing forwards. So the head doesn't lift, you're not looking out in front of you. Hold there and down. And again, reach the hands down, open the shoulders. So as you come up, you should feel your buttocks sort of underneath your hands contracting. You could point the toes, really lengthen the legs as well. And release down. Okay, maybe just change the hands over so you get the other thumb on top, which feels a bit weird. So now get the left thumb on the top. Reach the arms down, open the shoulders. Float the forehead. Just really think of lengthening the legs as well. Squeeze your legs together and they just float off the ground. So it's more of a lengthening rather than lifting up high. Reach down, open the shoulders and just hover. So your forehead is only just coming off the ground. And down. And one more. Reach down, open and hover. Keep the tummy scooped right in. Great. Rest down, hands on the mat beside your shoulders. Press up onto all fours. Bring the knees underneath your hips. Knees as wide apart as your mat, big toes together. Back into a child's pose. So let your bottom sink right down between your heels. Think of breathing right back into the back of your ribs. Good. And then come up onto hands and knees. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees under the hips. Really push the floor away from you. Got a little bit of a hollow through your lower back. Think of a book on your bottom or your favourite Friday night tipple sitting on your bottom. Keep that balance there. And just do what we did last week again. So you just slide one leg back, float it up. If you can, take the diagonal arm out in front. And then you're going to bring your elbow to your knee, nose towards your thigh. And then you're going to reach out again. And again, elbow to your knee and reach out. And one more, elbow to your knee, reach out. Good. Pop that hand down, knee down. Press the floor away from you. Get your position back again. A little bit of a hollow through your lower back. Nose pointing to the ground. Slide the other leg back. Float it up. So you've still got that drink balancing on your bottom. Take the diagonal arm out in front. Thumb up if you can, as if you're going to shake hands with somebody. And then you're thinking elbow to your knee. So you're rounding your back then. And then you come back to that nice little bit of a hollow through your lower back. Elbow to knee and reach out. And again, elbow to knee, reach out. Hand back to the floor, knee back underneath you. This time knees together, bottom back to your heels. One more, nice stretch there. Breath into the back of the ribs. Back onto hands and knees. Push the floor away from you. Tuck your toes underneath. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes tucked under. Press the floor away from you. You could just stick with that. It's quite a nice stretch for your toes. Or you could just lift the knees a couple of inches. Hold there. Good one for the arms. Gets lots of weight going through the arms. Helps keep them nice and strong. So chin tucking in, tummy in, press the floor away from you, lift and hold. Let's see if we can do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. And one more, press away. Just hover the knees. A lot of people lift too high. Less is harder, I think. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Feet down flat. Arms out in front, maybe give the wrists a bit of a wriggle. That's quite strong for the wrists, gets lots of weight going through them. Let them release. Good, and curl back up. Come back so that you're lying on your back. Knees bent, feet down flat. A little bit of a hollow through your lower back. Both arms up towards the ceiling, back of your shoulders on the mat. We're doing diagonal arm and leg. So right arm goes back towards the floor behind you. Slide the left leg down the mat. And come back up. Left arm and right leg. The right arm could go down beside your hip. And back up. Right arm, left leg. Those who want, you could have your foot just an inch or so above the mat. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. Pelvis staying completely level. Lovely. Both arms back to the top, feet a little way apart. Take both arms right out to the sides. So you're really opening out through the front of the shoulders. Hands back on the floor. Okay, shut your eyes a moment. And you're going to bring your arms up towards the ceiling and just touch your thumbs together, hopefully, without looking. And take the arms back to the floor. And this time, index fingers. So take the hands right up towards the roof. Index fingers to touch. With your eyes shut. Remember, your head knows where your hands are. This time, middle fingers. All the way up. Middle fingers. Oh, missed then. Middle fingers to touch. And come back. This time, ring finger, fourth finger. All the way up and touch. All the way back to open. Little fingers. All the way up. Touch. And back. This time, all 5 fingers. So see if you can get each pad of your finger to touch its opposite one. Good. Open the eyes. Arms right out to the sides. This time, have your fingers pointing to the ceiling. So you've got elbows bent, fingers pointing to the roof. And then let your hands drop back towards the floor. So nice opening stretch for the shoulders. And bring your hands up towards the ceiling again. So don't worry if you don't get to the floor. If your shoulders are a little bit stiff, if you've had a frozen shoulder in the past, you're probably not going to get all the way back to the mat. Just let your hands drop back. And come back up. And one more, let them drop back. And back up. Good. Hands behind one thigh, tuck the chin in. If you can, roll all the way up into sitting. Sit nice and tall, back in that cross-legged position. Bottom up on the brick if you're more comfortable like that. Soles of the feet together this time. Just really let your knees drop. You could sort of hold onto your ankles and just with your elbows press the knees out a little bit wider. Sit nice and tall, up on your sit bones. So you're getting a nice inner thigh stretch there. Let the knees drop, let them drop. See a massive cobweb up there. Have to get out with my brush after this. Okay, let that release. Come slowly up into standing. So feet pointing forwards, knees relaxed, shoulders nice and relaxed. And just think of dropping right down towards the floor. So let the heels come off. You're just coming right down into like a little squat. Heels off, knees pointing forwards if you can. You can use your fingers on the ground. And then just think of pressing into your feet. Coming all the way back up. Heels down, reach right up towards the ceiling. Big stretch up. And then coming all the way down again. So just go down as far as your knees are happy. Right down to the floor, heels come off, little squat down, and all the way back up. Stretch up to the sky, bring the arms down, slide the shoulders up, let them drop, and again, slide up and release. Thanks so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next week. Bye.